Hi Cancer. So I want to let you know a little bit of an update on what I have decided to do. I was kind of gathering opinions from some of you guys who watch me about the love reading versus the general reading, and so what I decided to do is keep the love readings and increase the general readings to twice a month versus once a month. And with the general readings, I will talk about what I see, and if occasionally there's an overwhelming emphasis on relationships, especially romantic relationships, I won't be afraid to kind of bring that out and fear that it's going to be redundant with the love readings, because it might provide a different facet of a situation with your love reading. So if you're watching the love reading and then you watch the general reading and it's still with the love, you might get some more insights, because it's really all about insights. And I hope that people just kind of look at these symbolically instead of just taking it in like 100% literally. I think you can have more fun with that. I know I started to have more fun when I would watch them on YouTube, because I was taking them so literally, and if I didn't like what they said, then it was kind of a bummer. So it's better just to look at the overarching themes and see if they apply to your life. They may not. And this period that I'm doing this reading for is from October 1st through the 16th. And on the 16th of October, we're going to have a full moon in Aries. And so for you, let me see. So Aries should be your 10th house, I'm thinking, because the 11th would be Taurus, the 12th would be Gemini. Yeah, makes a lot of sense, because it forms a square with your ascendant or your sun sign in the first house. Okay, so the 10th house, wow, to have a full moon in the 10th house could mean that some Cancerians are receiving recognition from your overlords or the people you work for. The 10th house is at the top of the chart, so it's kind of like your place in the world, and you're the spotlight is on you for some reason. For some people, yeah, it could be some sort of ending, and I think that I kind of don't like to say that, but this is a very short period of time before this is happening, so chances are you're going to know this at the time of watching this. It's not going to be a surprise to you. This is only a 2-week span, and I'm recording this on the 1st of October. So, maybe there is an ending, but maybe if there's one door closing, there's another opening. But it could be that you receive a promotion. The full moon is a very fertile time, so you never know what advances you can make in your career when you have the full moon in the 10th house. Alrighty then. Okay, well this is, I'm trying to think, okay, that's really interesting. Because I just did your astrology, and so you have those planets in the 4th house of home and family, don't you? In Libra, but you have Jupiter there. So that's helping that sector. It's kind of a type of boost to things. But yeah, this is something that is the focal point for this period of time. Some kind of sudden, maybe shocking situation that kind of jolts you out of your complacency. And it's typical for people to say, oh my God, that's the worst card. because, and especially like a Cancer person. See, I as a Sagittarian, I kind of think it's cool. But as a Cancer person, that's your worst nightmare, because you love security. And I'm going to be sitting by the YouTube and listening to people, or watching people writing comments. I'm not like that. I'm very adventurous. But yes, I am broad brushing. And that's how I roll when I do these videos. I'm not looking at individual charts. Hey, that sounds like a good time to tell you that these are general readings. And if you'd like a personal reading, you can click on the link below and it will take you to my website. Is that too cheesy of me? But no, I mean, really, I'm being serious here, because people sometimes don't like to be broad brushed, but for a lot of Cancerians, something unexpected is not what you like, because you are into financial security and just security in general, security in all facets of your life. I think the water signs all tend to be this way in particular because there's an emotional connection to all of those things. And sure enough, for the recent past, we get the Four of Pentacles. This is somebody who is very good at managing their money, and they may have a lot of it to manage, actually. But this is definitely a card I associate with you, even though you are not of the earth element. But this is, I think I read somewhere that there are more billionaires who are Cancers than any other sign of the zodiac. And but this is in the past position, so maybe there are some of you that played it too safe. This could be somebody who's holding on too tightly to his money, and that was causing, when you hold on too tightly, it doesn't flow. It doesn't. What's that word that means something similar to flowing? Circulate. And there's also a fear-based vibe when you're holding on, when you're penny pinching. Okay, that can create why can't I think of my cliches right now? That can create more of the same and show up in your reality. And so how this would translate is that maybe some of you missed out on opportunities. You could even say like investing or something like that, and you didn't do it, and you ended up holding on maybe to stocks that you thought were a sure bet, and then if the market crashed, and God forbid it will, but I'm, with what's happening in the world, sometimes these things get manipulated. And in 1929, in October, actually October 29th, 1929, that was when the U.S. had their Great Depression. And we also had another big stock market crash in October, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if that was in an election year, but that seems to be a time when some of these things happen. So, but this could also just relate to a career. The perfect example or analogy for this is you stayed too long at a job thinking that it provided you financial security, and then it went poof. Now, this could have already happened to you, and so you're in that aftermath period. In terms of relationships, there could be some kind of an unpleasant surprise due to somebody who was an earth sign. So Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. The typical thing is, infidelity, probably. I'd say that would be the number one reason that you find out dirt or something about that person. In the current or near future, we have the Six of Cups. So this is more of a card dealing with the emotional side of life, connected to your element of water and nostalgia. I wonder if this is particularly connected to Cancer, because Cancer is all about nostalgia in the past. So it might be. I know that the Chariot in the Major Arcana is connected to Cancer, but I don't know about in the Minor Arcana if the Six of Cups is connected to it. So I'm gonna have to look that up. But definitely it goes along with your energy, and it can mean, if you have been in that calamity related to something financial or something, career-wise, that you might be seeking your family to help you. For some people, it might even be your own children that you end up, if depending on how old you are, that you end up staying with for a while, or connecting with. So for some people, it could be, if you're young enough, it could be you lose your job and you end up being a stay-at-home mother or stay-at-home father, and you're taking care of your children yourself, and in time will realize that this was the universe working on your behalf. If you say to yourself, no matter what happens, that the universe has your back, you will weather any storm. In terms of relationship issues, you may find a person who is a long lost love, maybe a high school sweetheart, somebody in a reunion. There are a lot of reunions in the fall, and maybe you'll reunite with one of them. It doesn't have to be somebody you dated. It could be somebody that was a friend or a schoolmate, and you fall in love. That's always possible. But let's look at the challenge card. This is the Ten of Swords. So definitely with the Tower card, I definitely see betrayal. Again, I don't think this is something that's going to happen during the next 2 weeks. I think this is probably you dealing with this in the aftermath. And whether it's something where you were betrayed with your career, in your career life, or in your home life, understand that the worst is over. The problem with this challenge is that you may not realize that the worst is over. You may be so focused on what happened that you cannot really truly heal from it yet, or actually forget about it. And so you may be kind of still in that phase of feeling that you've hit bottom, and maybe fearing that there's still worse to come. And this can lead to pessimistic thinking. The swords relate to thoughts, and even though they're used as a weapon, but it's almost like using it against yourself. So you have to get your thoughts correct in order to really weather the storm. And then you'll realize that, yeah, you know what, maybe this thing happened, but this is as bad as it gets. It's going to get better from here on out. And sure enough, this is a card talking about the advice, and this is going to be, this is the yes card, or they call it the wish fulfillment card. I think it's also called the yes card, though, for the Minor Arcana, whereas the Sun is the Major Arcana yes card. But this is pointing to something good that's coming in for you. And the big challenge is for you not to be too glib, or what's that word? Not to gloat over your success. Maybe, you thought you were down, and then something comes in, and all of a sudden you're on top of the world again. And you're tempted to rub it in somebody's face. Don't rub it in anyone's face. Like, let's say you get a better job, or let's say you decide to start your own business, and it takes off right away, and you feel like you want these people to know, like, exactly how great you're doing. It's not about them. You know, enjoy your success, your good fortune, without, you know, having the need to broadcast it. Because, you know, unfortunately, in the day of Facebook, some of these childish traits are really kind of emphasized, of bragging, of, you know, competing. And when we have good things happen to us, we have to be able to feel them without needing to tell everyone. If you have one good person in your life who is cheering you on, that's worth 100 anonymous Facebook friends, you know. And also, when you gloat, you're inviting envy, and that can tend to create enemies. So being humble, being, you know, grateful for what good comes to you, and not feeling the need to kind of like try to, you know, justify your failures if you had something bad happen and that now you're feeling like you're on top of the world. It's just accept that it's part of the flux of life, and that now you're, you know, having a beautiful thing happen, and that you can accept the beautiful thing without having to you know, involve anyone else in it in a negative way. But this is a very positive card, the Nine of Cups. And it speaks to not only emotional well-being, but also abundance, physical abundance, even though it's a Cups card. So congratulations, whatever that is, that's coming in. And another 9. Okay, see, these are these themes. And this is the Hermit card in the Major Arcana. This is connected to Virgo. So if a Virgo fits in, then perhaps that will be the person. I think that you're going to be a lot more contemplative. And however this shows up for you, whether you know, have fallen in love, and maybe that's the wish. Maybe it's somebody from the past. And, you know, to tell you the truth, whether it be in business or pleasure, the temptation of, you know, kind of saying, see, you know, I've got it after all. And what, you know, that kind of feeling may be natural because you may have felt humiliated by something that happened, and you want everyone to know that you've bounced back. But the Hermit card is saying that you need to process everything that has happened, and also go within and seek something deeper than the outer world. Okay, and then, you know, whatever is out there, you still need time. You've been through a lot, you know, so seek the higher meaning in everything that has happened, and, you know, you will become enlightened. You know, that he's holding that lantern, and that represents the inner light, or becoming enlightened for yourself, and not this outward show of being, you know, some superior being, but really like getting in touch with yourself at the deepest level, so that you can experience the highest, you know, the purest happiness in whatever it is that you're trying to do in life. So in any case, I should say, Cancer, I hope that this was enjoyable to you, and it's kind of like it's pretty intense for a short-term period like this, so we'll see if it pans out. But take care of yourself. Bye.